Philippine Air Force plays a very important role in our overall campaign.
Thank you for keeping us safe. You do all your work in the sky so that all of us here on the ground may live in peace and security. Bilang inyong Commander-in-Chief, titiyakin kong buo at tapat ang suporta at malasakit ko sa inyong lahat na Philippine Air Force.
The Philippines is leveling up, literally. After years of anticipation, brand new FA-50PH Fighting Eagle jets are finally on their way. And this is huge news for our country's defense. These sleek, supersonic jets aren't just for show, they mark the beginning of a much stronger, more modern Philippine Air Force. And yes, they're set to arrive before President Bongbong Marcos Jr. ends his term, showing just how serious this administration is about defending our skies.
So I say this with great pride. The Philippine Air Force is a force on its own right. It is a credible, agile, essential to our country's aerospace defense.
So, what makes these jets such a big deal? A combat aircraft that can fly at 1,800 kilometers per hour, equipped with advanced radar systems, laser-guided bombs, and precision air-to-air missiles. And we're getting 12 new units to add to the 12 we already have. That's a complete squadron of next-gen jets ready to respond to threats in real time. With tensions in the West Philippine Sea not slowing down, this couldn't come at a better moment. Let's keep it real. For years, the Philippine Air Force was seen as under-equipped. We had aging aircraft, limited strike capability, and not much presence in the skies. But now, that's changing fast. The FA-50PH is not just a training jet. It's a combat-ready, multi-role aircraft used by countries like South Korea, Indonesia, and Iraq. And now, we're joining that club of serious air power. Defense officials aren't holding back either. In a recent statement, Defense Secretary Gilbert Teodoro said, "This shows our full commitment to territorial defense and national sovereignty." Simply put, we're done playing catch-up. The arrival of these jets proves that the Philippines is investing in real defense capabilities, not just talking about it. And here's what really hits. These jets are arriving at a time when our region is under pressure. China's movements in the West Philippine Sea continue to raise eyebrows, and our neighbors are building up their own militaries. With the FA-50PH in our arsenal, we're sending a clear message. The Philippines is ready to defend its skies and its people. What's exciting is this is just part of a bigger plan. The FA-50PH acquisition falls under Horizon 2 of the revised AFP Modernization program, which runs from 2018 to 2028. That means more upgrades, more tech, and more pride in our armed forces are coming. And with the FA-50PH leading the charge, the skies over the Philippines are about to look very different. So whether you're a military enthusiast, a proud Filipino, or just someone who wants to see the country grow stronger, this moment matters. The arrival of the FA-50PH is more than just military hardware touching down. It's a symbol of progress, preparedness, and national pride. Before the FA-50PH jets came roaring onto the scene, the Philippine Air Force, PAF, was in a tough spot, and that's putting it lightly. For years, we were flying with aging and outdated aircraft like the F-5A Freedom Fighters, which were officially retired in 2005. After that, skies got quiet. No more supersonic jets, no real air deterrence. We had to rely on propeller-driven OV-10 Broncos, SF-260s, and other trainers repurposed for combat roles, a clear sign of how stretched our air defense really was. Imagine this. From 2005 to 2015, the PAF had zero supersonic capability. That's a full decade where we had no fast jets to respond quickly to aerial threats. At a time when tensions in the West Philippine Sea were already brewing, we were practically flying blind, vulnerable, under-equipped, and struggling to keep up with modern air forces in the region. The strategic gap was real, especially with China ramping up its maritime presence and other neighbors enhancing their own air fleets. But everything changed in 2014. That year, the Philippines made a bold move and signed a deal with Korea Aerospace Industries, KAI, to acquire 12 FA-50PH Fighting Eagles, a 18.9 billion pesos contract under the AFP Modernization program. This was the start of something new. And for many in the defense community, it was the spark we had been waiting for. Why the FA-50PH? Simple, it was the perfect balance. It offered supersonic speed, multi-role flexibility, and advanced combat capability at a cost we could actually afford. It could serve as a light fighter, close air support platform, and interceptor, all in one. Compared to heavy fighters like the F-16 or Gripen, the FA-50PH gave us the most bang for our buck, while being relatively easier to maintain and train with. The jets were delivered between 2015 and 2017, and the change was immediate. For the first time in years, the PF could fly patrols at high speed, scramble interceptors, and project power over contested areas. Suddenly, the Philippines wasn't just reacting, we were asserting our presence in our own airspace again. As one former Air Force official put it, the arrival of the FA-50PH restored our confidence. It told the world we were no longer grounded. We were back in the skies where we belong. That moment wasn't just a turning point in our defense strategy, it was a turning point in our identity. The FA-50PH symbolized progress, determination, and a renewed commitment to protecting the motherland. And now, with another 12 units arriving soon, we're building on that legacy, not just maintaining our capabilities, but doubling down on them. From a decade without jets to a future of cutting-edge air defense, the PEF's modernization journey is proof that we can catch up and take flight. The FA-50PH Fighting Eagle is proof that you don't need a massive aircraft to make a massive impact. Designed by Korea Aerospace Industries, KAI, with technical support from Lockheed Martin, this light combat aircraft is built for both speed and versatility. It serves two key roles: as a lead-in fighter trainer, airlift, and a fully capable light multi-role combat jet. For a country like the Philippines, that's a major win. One aircraft, multiple missions, and a reasonable cost. Under the hood, the FA-50PH is packing some serious firepower. It can fly at Mach 1.5, that's nearly 1,850 kilometers per hour, putting it firmly in the supersonic category. Armed with AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles, laser-guided bombs, air-to-ground rockets, and a 20mm 3-barrel cannon, it can engage both airborne and surface threats with precision. Its multi-mode pulse Doppler radar gives it the ability to detect, track, and engage multiple targets simultaneously. Plus, with a combat radius of around 1,400 kilometers and a payload capacity of up to 4,500 kilograms, it's not just fast, it's also well-armed and long-lasting in the field. In terms of its role within the Philippine Air Force, the FA-50PH has become the frontline interceptor for airspace defense. It's now regularly used in air patrol missions over contested territories, especially in the West Philippine Sea, where maintaining a visible and capable aerial presence is crucial. These jets aren't just flying for training or show, they're actively reinforcing our territorial claims and protecting national airspace. But the FA-50PH doesn't stop there. It also plays a crucial role in close air support, CAS. As proven during the Marawi siege in 2017, the aircraft was deployed to support ground troops in urban combat, delivering accurate strikes that helped turn the tide in some of the most intense battles. That operation showcased just how important a multi-role platform like the FA-50PH can be, not just for high-altitude interceptions, but for boots-on-the-ground missions too. Then there's its role in pilot development. Because of its twin-seat configuration and lift capability, the FA-50PH is also a stepping stone for future fighter pilots. It allows them to train in a high-performance, combat-capable environment before transitioning to more advanced jets in the future. It's a smart investment. It builds both our fleet and our people. Finally, with modern data link and surveillance capabilities, The FA-50PH also contributes to reconnaissance and intelligence gathering, whether it's monitoring suspicious vessels, scanning coastlines, or assisting in joint operations. These jets are eyes in the sky that send real-time data back to command, enabling quicker decisions and tighter coordination. In short, the FA-50PH is more than just a jet. It's a symbol of the PAF's transformation into a modern Air Force, faster, smarter, and more capable than ever before. And with another squadron soon to arrive, the skies above the Philippines just got a whole lot more secure. The excitement surrounding the Philippine Air Force's PAF growing air fleet just got even more real. Earlier this year, the Department of National Defense, DND, confirmed that a new batch of FA-50PH fighter jets is officially in the pipeline. As of the most recent updates, the Philippines is acquiring 3 additional units of the FA-50PH Fighting Eagle from Korea Aerospace Industries, KAI, a move that signals continued confidence in the platform. These new aircraft are expected to arrive by the fourth quarter of 2025, well within the term of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., fulfilling his administration's promise to strengthen national defense before his term ends. The announcement came from both DND officials and PAF leadership, with confirmation echoed during defense briefings and modernization updates. This acquisition is seen as part of the strategic acceleration of the revised armed forces of the Philippines Modernization Program, RAFPMP, particularly under Horizon 3, which focuses on enhancing territorial and external defense capabilities through advanced platforms and systems. In terms of funding, the acquisition of the 3 FA-50PH units comes with a projected cost of around 5.4 billion pesos, based on the current unit price range of $35 to $38 million per jet, including weapon systems and logistics support. The budget was approved under the current General Appropriations Act, GAA, and classified under priority defense expenditures, signaling high-level commitment from both the executive and legislative branches. It's also worth noting that this procurement follows a streamlined government-to-government G2G agreement with South Korea, a preferred route for defense deals that ensures quicker delivery and reduced bureaucracy. What makes this new batch particularly interesting is the possibility of enhancements compared to the original 12 units delivered between 2015 and 2017. While KAI hasn't officially disclosed a major upgrade package, defense insiders have hinted that these aircraft may come equipped with improved avionics, better electronic warfare suites, and upgraded radar systems. This aligns with the trend of iterative improvements as KAI continues to refine the FA-50 platform, especially in light of its global demand and expanding variants like the FA-50 Block 20. Once delivered, these new jets will likely be integrated directly into 5th Fighter Wing operations at Basa Air Base, where the existing FA-50 fleet is already stationed. This means enhanced patrol coverage, better force rotation, and quicker response times for missions ranging from territorial air defense to joint operations with naval and ground forces. According to senior PAF planners, the new batch will also strengthen pilot training cycles, allowing the Air Force to scale up its human capital to match its growing hardware assets. All in all, this new acquisition isn't just about numbers, it's about maintaining momentum. As the Philippines faces growing external challenges and seeks to assert its sovereignty with strength and credibility, each new aircraft that joins the fleet is another step toward a more self-reliant and future-ready Air Force. The arrival of new FA-50PH jets marks more than just an expansion of the Philippine Air Force. It's a powerful message that the country is ready to defend its skies and assert its sovereignty with confidence. With the addition of 3 more units, the PAF's operational fleet of modern supersonic combat aircraft rises to 15, giving the AFP forces greater flexibility, coverage, and strength. This expanded fleet means the Air Force can now conduct more frequent and far-reaching patrols, from the northern Luzon airspace all the way down to the contested zones of the West Philippine Sea. More jets in the air also mean more visible deterrence. In a region where gray zone activities are increasing, like unauthorized maritime presence and incursions into Philippine airspace, the presence of supersonic, combat-ready aircraft like the FA-50PH sends a strong signal. We are watching, we are ready, and we will defend. These aircraft can be scrambled fast and fly farther, giving the Philippines the kind of rapid response capability it has long needed to address evolving external threats. In the broader regional context, especially within ASEAN, this development contributes not just to Philippine defense, but to collective stability. In areas like the West Philippine Sea, where maritime boundaries are constantly challenged, having credible air power allows the Philippines to better assert its territorial claims, support naval operations, and maintain a defensive presence. And as other Southeast Asian countries also modernize their forces, the Philippines' bolstered air capability allows it to participate more meaningfully in joint drills, regional surveillance, and cooperative security missions. Operationally, the benefits go even deeper. A larger fleet means more pilots can be trained more efficiently, increasing proficiency across the board. Training sorties become more regular, simulation becomes more dynamic, and future fighter pilots get more time in the cockpit of a truly combat-capable aircraft. This accelerates the development of a more ready, skilled, and professional Air Force. At the same time, the challenge of maintaining a larger fleet isn't lost on defense planners. Logistics, spare parts, ground crew training, and hangar capacity all need to scale with the hardware. But PAF insiders say planning is already underway, including upgrades to maintenance facilities and ground systems at Basa and Mactan air bases. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., during a recent address on national security, emphasized this modernization push by saying, "We must never again find ourselves unprepared." A credible defense force is the backbone of national sovereignty. Our skies, our seas, and our people must be protected at all times.
And reaffirm once more that we recognize the critical role of the Philippine Air Force. The government will exert all efforts to provide the Philippine Air Force with the best possible equipment, training, and facilities. We remain relentless in ensuring that support will continue, because we know that when our troops are equipped and are attended to properly, they are empowered to fulfill their duties and serve the country with excellence.
In essence, the strategic value of the FA-50PH extends far beyond its wingspan. It symbolizes a renewed commitment to territorial integrity, national pride, and regional leadership. And it's a clear sign that the Philippine Air Force is finally soaring into a new era. Even with the arrival of the new FA-50PH jets, the journey is far from over. The Philippine Air Force still faces real challenges that come with running and sustaining a modern air fleet. One of the most pressing issues is sustainability, ensuring that maintenance crews have the tools, training, and steady access to spare parts and technical support. These jets require a reliable logistics chain, and without proper investment, even the most advanced aircraft can be grounded by supply delays. Then there's the human side of modernization, the continuous need to train more highly skilled pilots and ground crew. While the FA-50PH doubles as a trainer jet, demand for experienced aviators is growing as the fleet expands. Pilots need thousands of hours in both simulators and live aircraft, while ground personnel must master increasingly complex maintenance protocols. It's a massive undertaking that requires both time and resources. Of course, budget constraints remain a constant shadow over modernization efforts. As defense budgets compete with other national priorities, maintaining momentum in the revised AFP modernization program requires political will and long-term vision. Acquiring jets is one thing, funding their operation for decades is another. It's a balancing act between ambition and affordability, and one that the government must navigate wisely. Looking ahead, the PAF is not stopping with the FA-50PH. Discussions are ongoing for the acquisition of multi-role fighter aircraft like the F-16 Viper or Saab JAS 39 Gripen, which would provide even more advanced air-to-air and air-to-ground capabilities. There are also plans to bolster ground-based air defense systems, improve radar coverage, and invest in surveillance and early warning assets. These upgrades point toward a clear long-term goal: building a truly credible air defense posture that can stand side by side with regional powers. With the arrival of the new FA-50PH jets, the Philippines has taken a bold step forward in protecting its skies. These aircraft don't just improve our response time or firepower, they redefine our national defense posture. For the first time in decades, the PF is gaining real momentum, capable of projecting strength and securing Philippine territory with speed, precision, and confidence. But these jets are more than just machines. They are symbols of national progress and self-reliance. Every time an FA-50PH takes off from Basa Air Base or patrols over the West Philippine Sea, it carries with it the hopes of a nation determined to stand tall, protect its sovereignty, and ensure peace through strength. The skies are changing, and so is the PAF. From humble beginnings to a rising force in the region, the Philippine Air Force is charting a course toward a modern, capable, and formidable future. And with every new aircraft that enters service, we're not just flying higher, we're soaring toward a safer, stronger Philippines. Thank you for tuning into our channel. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of global issues.